Hey, welcome back to another episode of Ask Alex. Please like and subscribe, or they'll fire me. I hope not, but we'll see.
Ask Alex.
I'm here next to the Cord Phaeton and the Packard Landaulet. These words come from carriage making. The Landaulet here on the Packard is sort of like a convertible, but only in the back. In this case, Doris Duke would have it up for privacy from the paparazzi, or put it down so she could see her fans or admirers at the time. The Phaeton here is sort of the same thing. It just means it doesn't have a fixed top, so this whole top can come off and act sort of as a convertible. A question I get a lot is about the color or the paint on these cars. They all have been repainted at some point, probably, or painted several times. The original paint technology wasn't very good. It didn't have the binders or primer that we have today to make paint last and look really sharp and flashy. Muted colors were very popular, such as dark green or gray, and black was the most popular mainly because it was the cheapest, but also everything was painted black. Machinery, locomotives, things like that. It was just easily available. For this next question, let's go for a ride in the Packard. Follow me. Does anybody know how to start this thing? Well, anyways, this in front of me is called a spark advance. People ask all the time, what's that thing on the steering wheel? It's to advance and slow down your ignition timing. So to advance a spark means to start the ignition earlier in the compression cycle. You do that at higher speeds. To slow down the spark, you do it later in the compression cycle. You do that at low speeds for starting the car. You have to make sure the spark is set correctly when you're starting the car, or you can injure yourself when you crank the car over. The engine will spin up too fast and turn the crank. Break your arm, break your wrist, maybe worse. That's why the electric starter was invented. The next question is about early gasoline. The 1886 Benz patent motor wagon did run on gasoline, although it was a very crude form called Legorin. You could buy it at chemists or pharmacies in town. It was kind of a byproduct of distilling kerosene from crude oil at the time. It was used as a solvent or a cleaner in the house. On a lot of these cars, you'll see a box on the running board. Sometimes that's a toolbox, because a lot of these cars needed repairs or adjustments frequently, and sometimes it's a battery box. On the Rolls-Royce behind me, you'll see a wooden box that holds tools to adjust and fix the motor, or any other part of the car. People ask what happened to a lot of these car manufacturers. On this side of the room, you see Ford and Benz and Rolls-Royce. These companies still exist. On the other side of the room, you see Marmon or Cord or Packard. A lot of these companies either went out of business because they couldn't compete with the bigger companies, or they got purchased by the bigger companies. When you have the assets like Ford or General Motors, you can make new models and new technology every year, something the public wants to buy. With smaller companies, they weren't able to do that. They had to use the same models or the same features, and that wasn't appealing to people. That's why the bigger companies outlasted them. So that's all the questions I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you have a question, you can leave it in the comments below or follow us on Instagram at Audrain Automobile Museum. Please like and subscribe so we can keep making cool videos like this. See you next time.